forgotten by men, remembered by God. Joseph found himself in a strange land among strange people. He didn't fit in. His diet was different. His religion was different. His entire life was different. Before being sold into slavery, Joseph had been treated like a prince among his people. His father gave him a colorful robe and spared him from the labor that his brothers endured. Even the Lord showed he was with Joseph by giving him dreams. But now Joseph was in Egypt, not as a guest or a traveler, but as a slave. It wasn't his choice to be there, yet there he was. How could he make sense of it? He belonged to God's chosen family, a Hebrew, the son of Jacob, grandson of Isaac, great-grandson of Abraham. But to his family, Joseph was gone. No one was coming to look for him, no rescue team, no daring intervention like Abraham once made for Lot. Joseph was forgotten, abandoned in chains while life went on without him. Have you ever felt that kind of loneliness? Maybe not in slavery, but in a situation that feels inescapable, where the weight of it presses down on your shoulders and no one seems to notice? That was Joseph's reality. He was forgotten, or so it seemed. Well, not entirely. Now Joseph had been brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, the captain of the guard, an Egyptian, had bought him from the Ishmaelites who had brought him down there. The Lord was with Joseph, and he became a successful man, and he was in the house of his Egyptian master. Genesis 39, 1-2. Did you catch that? The Lord was with Joseph. Even in a foreign land, among people who spoke a strange language and worshiped strange gods, God was still there. That truth repeats again and again in Joseph's story. The Lord was with him. When it looked like Joseph was alone, God wanted us to know he wasn't. Sometimes that's the anchor we need. The reminder that God's presence hasn't left us, even when the storm rages and no one else sees where we are. In Potiphar's house, Joseph flourished. Yes, he was still a slave. Yes, he had suffered injustice. But even in that circumstance, he prospered because the Lord's hand was upon him. Potiphar, the captain of Pharaoh's guard, one of the most powerful men in Egypt, trusted Joseph completely. Yet in that same house lived Potiphar's wife, a woman who saw Joseph and decided she wanted him. And after a time, his master's wife cast her eyes on Joseph and said, "Lie with me." Genesis 39, verse 7. Joseph was young, strong, and far from home. The temptation was real. The allure of forbidden pleasure has always been one of the enemy's most destructive tools. Sin always promises sweetness, but it hides decay underneath. To Mrs. Potter, Joseph was just an object to satisfy her desire, nothing more. That's still the nature of ungodly relationships today. Selfishness wrapped in seduction, desire without devotion. But Joseph remembered God. But he refused and said to his master's wife, "Behold, because of me, my master has no concern about anything in the house, and he has put everything that he has in my charge. He is not greater in this house than I am, nor has he kept back anything from me except you, because you are his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God?" Genesis 39, verse 8-9. Joseph didn't just think of his master, he thought of his God. He could have reasoned that giving in might make his life easier. He could have convinced himself that no one would ever find out. But Joseph saw sin for what it was, rebellion against God. And the temptation didn't go away. And as she spoke to Joseph day after day, he would not listen to her, to lie beside her, or to be with her. Genesis 39:10. Day after day, he resisted until finally she accused him falsely, and he was thrown into prison. He did right and still suffered for it. That's hard, isn't it? When obedience brings pain instead of blessing, when righteousness seems to make things worse. But that wasn't the end of Joseph's story, and it isn't the end of yours either. There would come a day when Joseph would be carried past that same house in Pharaoh's chariot, the second most powerful man in the world. And when Mrs. Potiphar saw him, terror must have filled her eyes. The one she accused and humiliated now rode in royal splendor, vindicated by God himself. One day, those who once tempted us to join in their sin, who urged us to forget what is right and surrender to what is easy, will see what God has done. Just as Joseph was exalted to Pharaoh's right hand, we too will be lifted to the right hand of God through Christ. We may not see our vindication so dramatically on earth, but we will see it in eternity. On that day, when all is revealed before the judgment seat of Christ, every act of faithfulness will shine brighter than the crowns of kings. What Joseph's vindication pictured, ours will fulfill in full glory. The same God who was with Joseph is with us. When we feel forgotten, abandoned, or falsely accused, He remembers. The world may not know where we are. God does. So when the temptress whispers and sin looks easy, remember Joseph. Remember God. Stand strong with Jesus and stay faithful to the one who never forgets His own. The Lord was with Joseph. Genesis 39:2. What truth from Joseph's story speaks to you today? When have you sensed God's presence in your own season of silence? Share your reflection in the comments. It might be what someone else needs this week.